Hi, my name is Kathleen Negley, and I'm your instructor for CEAS 101, Slavic and East European Studies. This is an online course, as hopefully you understand at this point, and I'm going to do my best to be interactive with you and try to get to know you, even though we won't be seeing each other this semester. Most of the course is going to be based on you watching some small lectures I give and reading that you'll be doing outside of class. I'm going to first talk a little bit about myself and then some of my expectations for class and what you'll be doing this semester. So, like I said before, my name is Kathleen Negley, and I've been teaching for a good 16, 17 years now. I originally started teaching as a public school teacher. I taught high school for many years, and I've lived and traveled all throughout this particular region for most of my adult life. I spent 2 years in Hungary, and I spent 4 years in Estonia. I've traveled to almost all the nations of this course and have a lot of wonderful experiences that I'll try and share with you. I try to enliven what we're studying. In terms of this course, what you need to do, a lot of it is going to be on your own, being an online class. That requires you to do a lot of things with discipline, and that's especially in concern to your reading list. If you do not have the syllabus in front of you, I suggest that you look in this folder called Introduction and print out a copy of the syllabus, or at least bring it up so you can follow along as to what I'll be discussing in this particular section. This course has been broken into 6 sections, so to speak. The first is an introduction to the topic. Then we're going to discuss 4 particular regions, and these regions go in geographical order really from north to south. We're going to first talk about the Baltics, then we'll talk about the Polish, Lithuanian, Belarusian areas. Then we'll talk about the former region of the Habsburg Empire, that's Czech Republic today, Slovakia, Hungary, parts of the Ukraine, Romania. And then our last major geographical section will be in the Balkans, which makes up much of the former Yugoslavia. And we'll touch on a little bit of the nations below that, such as Albania and Bulgaria. And then we'll have a conclusion lecture to go along with all of this. In the course, you're going to be reading 5 books, and these 5 books try to touch on in different ways some of these geographical regions. The first book you're going to be reading is by an author named Tuglas, and this is a series of short stories that take place in Estonia. He's an Estonian author. And I think you're going to find that these stories are a bit strange, and it might be one of the more difficult texts of the course because the stories are strange. But if you go into that realizing that from the beginning, I think you'll find it a little bit easier. The second book you're going to read is by an author named Kate Brown, and this is a pure kind of historical approach to Poles living in what became a new region of the Soviet Union, the Ukraine, and it kind of deals with nationalism and the diversity of this region, and how a lot of these tags and titles are ambiguous to East Central Europe. The next book you'll read is a book dealing with a Jewish woman at the turn of the century in an area that's very little known to most people in the West. It's been traded by many different nations or invaded, and this is an area called Sub-Carpathian Ruthenia, which today is parts of Ukraine. It kind of is on the border of Slovakia, Ukraine, Romania, and Hungary. And this book is a really a novella. It's quite small and easy to read. I don't think you have much trouble with it. The next book is a novel, a very simple novel, but I think a really good explanation of nationalism. It's a book by Zsigmond Moritz, and it details a boy growing up in eastern Hungary at a high school or a gymnasium type situation. We'll talk about that later. And again, this book is not difficult to read, and we're going to try to strip away some of the layers of this book just to see what are some other themes that are within it. And the last book, again, I don't think it's a difficult read. It's by Slavenka Drakulic, and it deals about life under communism, and I think it's a very enjoyable book. In general, I try to pick 5 books that you're going to want to read in the summertime, and things that won't be maybe too difficult in some ways. The first 2 might be the hardest books. Once you get through them, it's really smooth sailing from that point on. And the last part of the course is you'll write a final essay for me, and I'll post that question, and it's kind of an essay that will maybe help demonstrate that you have taken in a lot of the information of this course and from the books you read. In general, I'm not seeking to be difficult in any way for this course. I hope you find it enjoyable. It is an introduction to this region, a region that I love and have many friends in, and I try to pick books that would be a bit of a mix of material. So you have short stories, you have pure history, you have a novella, you have a novel, and you have a memoir. And like I said, most of them are short and quick, but you have to also be quick with your reading. Generally, you have a week to read the text and write a review, and that's part of the requirements for the course. You're going to be writing reviews and such. And because we're doing this in YouTube, we only have about 8 or 9 minutes per little video. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop this particular section, and then there's going to be a part B to this, and I'll continue talking about the syllabus. Thank you.